There's a baby in there. Oh, I'm so happy. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is all new for me. I don't know if you're a first-time mom or not, but I am. I am going through all this for the first time, not really knowing exactly what to expect, and I'm gonna share it all with you. I'm currently 13 weeks today. There seems to be a whole lot of debate out there as to when the second trimester officially starts. Some people say 12, some people say technically it's 13 weeks and 3 days. So either way, I'm either in the second trimester or I'm 3 days away from it. We are going to do a first trimester recap today. This is going to be kind of vlog style because I did film little bits along the way when I went to my appointments, so I am going to insert those bits of footage in here as well. I'm also going to talk to you guys about finding out I was pregnant, how we found out, my earliest symptoms, and the progression along the weeks, how I felt and what happened. If that sounds like something interesting for you, then keep on watching. To go see my doctor for my first appointment. I think I'm about 4 weeks today, but I don't know for sure. I'm so excited. Finished. So basically they just checked my blood pressure and checked my weight and referred me to an obstetrician and set up my first blood work appointment. And I asked her about like precautions for COVID. She said there's not a whole lot of research on pregnant women and COVID, so take the same precautions even though restrictions might be loosening. One person in the household only should get groceries and it should not be me. Stay away from crowds, public places, wear a mask. Yeah, so that's that. So I have my blood work appointment next week. And now I'm just gonna play the waiting game. I first found out I was pregnant on May 16th, which was the day before my 29th birthday. And it was 3 days before my expected period. I knew that I could technically test 3 days before, but I didn't want to test on my birthday because I didn't want to be sad if it was negative again. So we took it the day before. So on that particular morning, May 16th, we had a grocery order in for an online pickup because COVID. And the pickup was scheduled between 7 and 8 a.m. because that was all we could get. So I remember that morning I was getting a shower, and I'm a shower peer. Sorry if you're not a shower peer and you think that's gross, but I mean, it's what it is. I think a lot of people do it. Anyways, I was in the shower and I started to pee a little bit and I was like, oh no, have to hold that so I can test with first morning pee. So I stopped myself, finished my shower, and I have like the HCG test strips because they were a whole lot cheaper than like the plastics test that you get at the store. So I got mine from Amazon. Anyways, with the test strips, you have to pee in like a little cup or something and then dip the strip in. So I peed in the cup, dipped the strip in, laid it on the side of the sink, and had to wait 3 minutes. So I went out, got dressed, went about my day, blah, blah, blah. And then of course there's the anxiety of having to go back in and check. And I really thought that I was pregnant in March. My period was 9 days late, which it's never been late, let alone 9 days. And so I did film taking a pregnancy test that time, like looking at it, and it was negative, and that was just kind of disheartening. So I stopped filming looking at them because if you've gone through infertility, which my heart goes out to you if you have, or if you've just been trying to get pregnant, then you know every time you take a test, it's such like a high anxiety time. So I didn't film it that day. I remember going back in and I picked it up and I was like, oh my God, this has 2 lines. I think this has 2 lines. And up until this point in my life, I have never had a positive pregnancy test. Like, I've never seen one happen for me. It was totally out of the norm. So I'm just kind of staring at it like, oh my God, I think I'm pregnant. And then I showed it to Devin and he was like, yeah, I think that you're pregnant. Like, that's definitely 2 lines. And the first person I messaged was my sister. So I sent her a picture and I was like, do you see 2 lines on this? And she was like, yeah, you're pregnant. And I was just like, oh my God, like it was crazy. And then I had to go get the grocery order. It was already almost 8 o'clock. And so I was rushing to get to the car so I could go get the grocery order. And the whole time I'm just like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, oh my God, like just freaking out about it. Like I wanted to tell the world, but I was also like, is it real? such a crazy feeling. I got in the car and the song Good News by Classified and Bria McKinnon was playing. And I had only heard that song for the first time like 2 or 3 days ago. And unfortunately, I can't put it in here because of copyright reasons. But the lyrics are so sweet. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh God, it was just so surreal. Basically, the lyrics for the song just say like, I've been waiting for some good news, for the light to shine through. And Maddie, what is that? What is that? So because I knew that we were trying and that I was waiting to take a pregnancy test, I wrote down all of my symptoms. So my last period was April 22nd to April 26th. And based on the app that I was using, Flow, I should have ovulated between May 3rd and 6th. And so as you'll find out later in the video, when I had my dating ultrasound, I found out that I was a week ahead of what I thought I was. So if you use the app Flow, you'll notice that you can like type in your own little log notes of what's been going on particular days. So on May 5th, I logged that I had lower right side small cramps and twinges in the morning since the night before. And also I logged for that week that I was super hot. I was waking up so sweaty at night. I was starving, like I could not stop eating. May 10th, I logged lower right side, one sharp sudden poke feeling that went away quickly. I still remember what that felt like. It honestly felt like from the inside somebody poked me, and it was the weirdest feeling, but I thought it was important, so I wrote it down. May 11th, sore boobs. May 12th, sore boobs again. And on that night, I had a pregnancy dream. And I saw in some other videos and I read from some other people that they had pregnancy dreams right before finding out they were pregnant. So I thought that was interesting.
Is blood work. Needles have always bugged me. I had kind of a traumatic experience when I was a kid. And also I haven't had blood work for 23 years. So I was 6 years old last time I had blood work, and it was because I had mono. So I'm going to do it today and it's going to be fine. I know that after I do it, it probably will feel like it wasn't a big deal and I was being silly for nothing. So that's what's happening. I've got my mask, my headphones. I don't know if I'm going to be able to film in there. I might not even try, honestly. Probably just going to try to listen to my music and stay chill, but I'll let you know how it goes after. Okay, here we go. I also have my pee sample from this morning because you either have to provide a pee sample of first morning urine or it has to be held for 4 hours, and I peed about 15 minutes ago right before I left the house, and I'm about to pee my pants. So holding for 4 hours like literally isn't a possibility. Yeah. So here we go. Did it. Oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. The nurse that drew my blood was so sweet. I told him that like I haven't had blood work since I was 6 years old and it was a little traumatic, so I'm a little nervous, and he was so good. I listened to music. It was done so quick. The needle pain was like not even pain, but I did get super hot and like instantly soaked in sweat and kind of dizzy, so I had to stay there for a little bit and lay down and have water and some cold cloths until I could like cool down and feel like I wasn't dizzy anymore. It's over with. It's done. There's another fear off the list.
I was so like in shock about it that I continued to test for about 5 weeks. So I like dated all of the dates and then taped on my strips and like wrote down some of my symptoms because I wanted to see that they were progressing, and they did, so that was good. My main symptoms for the first, I'm gonna say 6 weeks, were just insanely sore boobs, to the point that even walking or running like hurt. I would have to like hold them. What else? So hungry, could not get enough food, woke up at night starving, fatigue like I've never experienced, and that kind of remained through the whole first trimester. I'm still super tired. I would basically start to get super tired every afternoon around like 3 or 4 o'clock, to the point that I had to lay down. It seemed like so much work to have to get up to have supper or even to eat supper. I just wanted Devin to bring it to me in bed because I was like tired like nothing that I have ever experienced. At the end of week 5, which since I was a week ahead, I guess that was kind of the end of week 6, even though I didn't know, I had the worst heartburn and acid reflux of my life. So there was one night in particular, I had to sleep sitting up in a chair. I could not lay down. And this kind of lasted at least a week, where I couldn't even lay on my left side because like the stomach acid was coming up and burning. And so that was uncomfortable. I could only lay on my right side. At the start of week 6, which could have technically been the start of week 7 since I was the week ahead, that's when the nausea started to kick in. So if I smelled something gross, I would gag uncontrollably. If I saw something gross, thought about something gross, just like random things would set me off. One day it had rained the night before and I took Maddie out to pee in the morning and there were slugs everywhere, and I was like gagging uncontrollably. I couldn't look at them, and I was like, Devin, I can't take her outside again. If I see another slug, I am going to vomit. Just random things, certain smells, certain thoughts, certain food made me feel so sick, but I can't really complain because some people throw up their entire pregnancies, and really I only threw up one time. My sister was there and saw it happen. I was just standing there like putting things in a bag, and all of a sudden I just started gagging and ran to the bathroom, and it just hit me like that, which was crazy. Moodiness. Oh my God. I had some days and weeks where everything, anyone, and everybody just got on my freaking nerves, drove me insane. I had no patience. And also emotional, like could cry at the drop of a hat from the stupidest things.
Currently walking, and Maddie's even coming along to my first OB appointment, which very so conveniently happens to be at the top of the street. My glasses are so crooked, these are the only ones I have left, and everything's closed with COVID. But yeah, that's what's happening today. So I'm 8 weeks today, so I don't know if we'll be able to hear a heartbeat yet because it's still kind of early, but fingers crossed, and if not, that's okay. Here's my ride. Hi, Maddie. So I just finished up from my first OB appointment. Everything went well. She had my blood work results back and she said everything looked great. I was negative for like any diseases that they checked for, I guess. My blood type is O positive, so that's good. And my husband is A negative, so she said we won't have any problems there. What else? Oh yeah, so I thought I was about 8 weeks today based on my last period. And when she felt my uterus, she thought it felt a little big for being 8 weeks. So she said she could be wrong, or I could be further along than 8 weeks, or there could be multiples. And the funny thing is my dad is a twin, and my grandmother or his mom had 2 sets of twins. And when my mom was pregnant with me, a psychic told her that that baby in her belly was going to have twins someday. So now I'm like, I need to know, is there one baby in there, or are there 2, or am I further along? Oh my God. So I'm gonna get sent for a dating ultrasound to find out. So that's what's happening now. She said my BMI right now is 20, and she wants me to gain 25 to 30 pounds throughout the pregnancy, no more than that, and just to gain it from healthy foods and not McDonald's. So I'm gonna do my best.
I did have a little bit of spotting around 8 weeks, 2 days after an internal exam. And when I talked to my OB and the nurse hotline, they both told me that it's because there's so much increased blood flow to the cervix that it doesn't take much for it to be irritated and to bleed. So that's what happened. And I knew that the baby was okay afterwards because I had my dating ultrasound on, when did I have it? The 3rd. And we saw the baby. Oh my God. You'll see the footage from that.
Hey you guys, it is July 3rd and it is dating ultrasound day. This is my first ever ultrasound of my life because this is my first pregnancy and I didn't need an ultrasound for any other reason before. I'm super nervous. I don't know what to expect. Technically, this is a dating ultrasound, so I have no idea if they're going to be able to tell me or show me anything. I should be like 10 weeks and 2 days according to my last period. Oh, getting out of breath. This pregnancy thing. I'm extra nervous because I have been having like a little bit of brown spotting, which my OB said not to worry about. I called the nurse hotline and they said not to worry either. But I mean, that's a lot easier said than done. So I'm scared that if they can't show me or tell me anything, I'm going to feel even more worried. So fingers crossed, we get to see the baby or at least see its little heart flickering so I know everything is okay and I can take a deep breath. So I'll show you my 10-week bloat bump. It's mostly bloat, don't be fooled. But I mean, I think there's a baby or maybe two in there. We don't know for sure yet, but if it's twins, I would not be totally surprised. So wish me luck. One more thing to mention. If you know me, you know that I have the worst bladder on like the best of days. I pee every like 5 minutes and that was pre-pregnancy. So I pee like pretty much all day, every day, constantly now. And I have to drink a liter of water at 1 p.m. and hold it until my appointment at 2 p.m. And so I've got a big pad on just in case I pee a little bit because it could happen. So fingers crossed that we have a healthy baby and I don't piss myself. It's 10 after 1 and I'm already ready to pee my pants and I have to wait another 50 minutes plus if they don't take me right away, plus the time that she's doing the ultrasound. I'm freaking out. And if I'm being honest, I don't even know if I'm gonna put this in the video because this is so embarrassing. I just had to pee a little bit in an empty water bottle because I was like, I'm gonna pee. I can't hold it for another second. So that's embarrassing. But here we go. Oh, we're finished. I just had to make a bunch of phone calls because I had to go by myself. So I had to call Devin and my mom and Devin's mom. And you guys, there's a baby in there. Oh, I'm so happy. It was so crazy and cool to get to see it because you have your first pregnancy test and like you wait so long without seeing or hearing anything and you're like, is there anything really in there? And I was so anxious and worried, but there's a baby.
You have 3 new text messages.
I got to see the heart flickering and she said
you have 4 new text messages.
Was about 176. And I'm at least a week ahead, making me 11 weeks and a couple days, not 10 weeks. So that's pretty cool. And oh yeah, super, super active baby. She couldn't believe how active it was. She like held the wand straight and was like, okay, look at this. I'm not even moving anything. This is just the baby moving on its own. And it was like jumping and wiggling all over the place. So she said, you're going to be in for it when you can feel these. So it's definitely mine and Devin's baby. No twins, but I'm so happy. Oh.
So the basic symptoms that I think have persisted for me through the whole first trimester, and I know that every pregnancy can be so different, but my main symptoms this whole 13 weeks were super hungry, moody, super tired, heartburn on and off, some nausea. Wasn't too bad though. Can't complain with nausea. I know some people have like hyperemesis and they are throwing up for 9 months. So my friggin' heart goes out to those people because that is rough. I think that's all I can really think of right now. Pregnancy brain is real. I swear to God. I've never felt so like I can't focus. I can't think. Oh, I am so out of breath. Oh my God. And I noticed that right away that I was super out of breath from like doing anything and everything.
Again. again. I'm currently waiting in the parking lot to see my OB. So this will be the second time I see her. I'm either 11 weeks, 5 days based on my last period, or 12 weeks, 5 days based on my ultrasound and the tech telling me I was a week ahead. So I will get confirmation of that today and find out how everything went with the ultrasound. I always have like a million things in the trunk behind me because life is busy. So just ignore that. But yeah, I will let you know how it goes after. I'm home for my appointment, so I was a week ahead. So my new due date is January 21st, 2021, which is kind of cool. I'll 1/21/21 if the baby comes when it's supposed to. I'm just making some lunch right now because I am starving. So right now I am 12 weeks and 4 days. So everything went well. Oh, and I almost forgot the most important part. We got to hear the heartbeat today. And when I say we, I mean me and my doctor, because unfortunately my husband cannot come to my baby appointments, which is really sad because this is our first baby and obviously I want him to be there to experience these moments with me, but it is what it is during a pandemic. So heard the heartbeat. It was amazing. Like, oh, I don't even have words to describe it. If you are a mom or you've been through this already, then you know what it's like. It's unreal. Heartbeat was good and strong. Again, she said, this is a very stubborn, active baby. We could only get it for like 10 to 15 seconds at a time, and then it was gone again. Just, I don't know, dancing around, swimming around in there. I always find myself wondering now, like, oh, I wonder what the baby's doing right now. It's so funny. But anyway, that was good. Everything's great. I'm gonna have to get a Doppler so that Devin can get to hear the heartbeat too, because I really want him to get to hear it. And now I'm getting out of breath. So I guess I'll show you guys my 13-week bump. This is where we're at 13 weeks. I definitely have what I would consider to be a bump already compared to my normal. It definitely feels sometimes like my body isn't mine anymore and that it's just being taken over, which I guess it kind of is, but I love this little baby in here so much already. It is the craziest, most surreal feeling, and I'm so excited for what the next 6 months are going to bring. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, found it educational, or maybe just entertaining if you're going through the same things. If you're watching this and you're also due around the same time as me, comment down below so I can see how many of you are also having January babies. So my due date was originally January 27th and it got moved up to January 21st, which is pretty cool. So my potential due date is 01/21/21, which I like. Oh, excuse me, the burps. If I have any due date twins out there who are watching this, any other potential January 21st babies, let me know down below. I would love to connect with some other moms, especially because I'm a first-time mom and I feel like I'm trying to learn everything and there is so much to learn. If you have had a baby before, I want you to comment for me the #1 thing that you wish you knew when you were a first-time mom. Maybe that it's something you wish someone had have told you so you would have been prepared. I think that would be fun to collect all of your tidbits of information. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Bye.